Welcome to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast, sponsored by Wicked Energy Gum, a fast-acting alternative to energy drinks, 5 times faster without filling up on liquids. I'm Jeremy Elliott, joined once again by Ryan Hand, and we got wet again this weekend.
It's almost an epidemic now. It's ridiculous.
That's one way to put it. I think ridiculous is...
honestly, it's almost like Friday just means rain.
Well, and we hate to start the show off like this, but guess what Friday looks like?
Rain.
90% of thunderstorms during the day, 60% at night. I'm headed to Eldora. Because it's 10% and 0% for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to jump right in, and obviously we're going to start with the rain. I mean, the World of Outlaws, All-Stars, Williams Grove, Attica Raceway Park, all have been just destroyed by rain. All-Stars, 7 straight now they've lost to rain, 8 overall. I don't even know what to say anymore.
We can barely talk about racing anymore because there isn't much of it going on.
I'll tell you what, doing the top 50...
Yeah, it's probably tough.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm breaking down like Patriot Sprint Tour feature events and looking for 5-6 notes out of there.
Yeah.
I had somebody call me today and go, Matt Tanner? Who's that? Not that that's not important. It's just you're really scraping for news.
There's not much happening.
No. But come up with some intriguing little nuggets in this time. It's actually helped me in a way because I've been able to do different stats, and it's helped me track different things. Like we had average money won per event this week, and our buddy Jovan
I got
Schriltz,
the email.
Yeah, Jovan Schriltz helped us, so we were good to go there. But World of Outlaws, they've lost 4 straight now, and they've lost 11 out of 24. They've only run 13 times.
That's almost half. It's almost half your race is the rain.
Look, I know.
Could you imagine trying to make your living as a race car driver that's working off a percentage?
Well, we talked to David Gravel last week about that. And not only that, it's getting in a rhythm, which we're going to have Brent Marks on shortly in segment 2 to discuss getting in a rhythm. Then we're going to also have Justin Sanders on from California because he had a big week.
He got in a rhythm.
He got in a big rhythm in a big way.
Yeah. But
Williams Grove banged out last week. They've lost 5 straight weeks. 6 of 8 this season.
It's ridiculous.
Here's something to think about. If they rain out this week, the locals have 2 races on that track to get ready for the Outlaws, and one of them was a daylight surface.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, it was cold and it was heavy.
Yeah.
So, again...
Well, it's not like the Outlaws have been knocking the doors down at racetracks either, so...
No, that's true.
It might not be as bad as you think.
But they at least have 13 races.
They do.
So, Attica, again, same as the Grove. They're losing 6 of 8 programs this year. Sealands Grove, Lincoln, Trailway, all banged out this weekend. Trailway's yet to get a race in.
2 of them actually got their shows started, and not quite. They need about a half hour probably each of them.
Yeah, Lincoln and Sealands Grove got their races started up to the feature events. Mm-hmm. Then the rain came, and that was it. We'll talk about that more in segment 3. But there was some racing, most of it on the West Coast. Justin Sanders sweeps the Dave Bradway Jr. Memorial at Silver Dollar Speedway. Started off Friday night, was not a KWS event. It was the Bill Brownell Memorial. He wins that over Shane Golobic, comes back the next night and wins the Bradway over Shane Golobic again, who was probably faster, but couldn't get around Justin. And he banks roughly around $8,400.
Pretty good weekend.
It's a pretty good weekend.
Pretty good weekend for a guy that, seems like nobody really wants him out in California, but he wins a load of races.
Wins a boatload of races. He's winningest driver in 5 years out there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. It was Sanders' 4th King of the West Series win. He's run 3 races this year, and he's averaging a little over $3,000 per event.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's by the numbers. That's probably what you need to make to kind of break even.
Brad's suite, I think, is the highest at $4,400 change. That's I mean,
That's good. That's real good.
I think Sanders is like third or fourth on the list.
Yeah.
Oh no, Deweese. I'm sorry, Lance Deweese is first. Lance Deweese is 4,400. Brad Sweet's a little over 4,000. Donnie's like at 3,900, something like that.
Struggling mightily.
Struggling mightily. But well, if they could get some races in, it might change.
That's true.
So, yeah, Deweese, excuse me, he leads the country. But Shane Golobic, 2 runner-up finishes. It was a pretty good week for him. He's second in points, 1 behind DJ Neto, who was 4th at the Bradway. Neto's finished 5th and 4th in KWS action, but he's leading the points after Shane has like 2 second-place runs. How does that happen?
I don't get it.
Points and heat races, they like to give points for all that stuff. I still don't get it.
It's confusing to me.
It is confusing. Some other events that did get in, obviously in California, Placerville, Andy Forsberg leaves Chico, Silver Dollar, whatever you want to say. Chico's the town it's in. He finished 12th on Friday night in a Brownell. Went over to Placerville. He wins his 60th race at the track. I mean, he's really good there. We talked to him a few weeks ago.
Dominant.
Yep. So, but Tony Gualda lost brakes, and there's some people think he would have won that race.
Okay.
So, and that's our boy Joey Batts called me and saying how good Tony Gualda is.
Actually,
so.
he's been like one of the guys that you don't really know that's made an impact this year already.
Yeah, and he's young. Yeah. He's real young. So then we have Ocean Speedway was Kurt Nelson. He took advantage of people not being there. I'm not, but it was a small field. And Skagit, Devin Borden. You have the I-80, Matt Jewell. Then you have the Patriot Sprint Tour, Chuck Hebing. Gets the win. There's no shocker there.
No.
Anything in New York, he's the guy to watch.
Pretty good chance at it.
Yeah. Butler Motor Speedway, Michigan, Dan McCarron got the win. Knoxville, Brian Brown.
Shocker.
Second straight. Although he started 6th, he was a high, points guy going, with the way their format is. Started 6th. He kind of handled him.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think he won his heat from 6th. I think he was second quick. Yeah, he kind of handled him.
Oh, no, I think I thought he was first quick and second in his heat.
No, I think the quick time was the 91 car.
It does.
Cale Thomas.
It doesn't matter.
Which is a cool looking. Did you see his paint?
Well, yeah, I did
He's got
see
a cool
his paint job.
Yeah.
Cale Thomas, by the way, not bad. Top 10 with the World of Outlaws. I believe he was. Now he didn't have as good a night at Knoxville because he was like 15, 16. So, but still, Brian Brown still really good at Knoxville. He's 2 for 2. I don't know if he goes to Eldora this weekend. Kerry Madsen will be at Eldora though. But we'll talk more about Eldora in segment 3 because our picks. Guess what, buddy? We're even. We're even in
one category.
2 categories. We're even in wins and top 5s.
Okay. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I just tied you up in the top 5s. You tied me up in the wins, but the other 2 I'm still winning, of course.
Yeah, you're up by 16 spots.
Yeah.
But I'll get you. It's
okay.
I catch you in one, and I'll catch you in another, and then another. Justin Sanders getting it done for me.
Yeah, you didn't tell me about him. Kept that mighty secret.
You have email. You have Joe's email. You can email him.
That's all right.
Oh, for crying out loud. You're a piece of work. IRA at Wilmot. Jeremy Schultz beats Bill Baylog by 0.085 seconds.
That had to be pretty entertaining.
It's about.
Yes, it's not much.
It's about that much?
Yeah.
Something like that? Still, Rico Abreu was there, finished 3rd. Didn't time well.
No, he didn't. He started like 12th or something like that and got up to 3rd.
Yeah, he didn't time well, and that kind of threw a monkey wrench into things. So, it wasn't great. But, it's still the dominating theme of the weekend was rain.
Rain.
I'm hoping that breaks this weekend. I think it will.
If you're far enough west out of Pennsylvania or what?
Well, see, the thing is this week, Attica and Fremont are all, well, Attica runs a late model race. They're don't have sprints because because Eldora's running.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of those weird deals where now they'll probably get a nice weekend and they won't get their sprint car races in, which is the ironic thing.
Man.
I think Saturday in Central PA is pretty good this weekend. But Saturday hasn't been a problem.
Oh, this Saturday it was.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be
Saturday's been better than Friday.
Friday's been a disaster.
Ugh.
But that's going to wrap up segment 1. SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum. We'll be back in segment 2 with Brent Marks. Stay tuned. Welcome back to segment 2, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. Join us on the phone is Brent Marks, who it's been a little tough in the beginning of the year, but it looks like he might have found something at Jacksonville Speedway, and when they race, who knows how that'll translate. But Brent, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Now we're gonna be a little harsh early. I'm just warning you.
That's all right.
You have 1 top 10 and 13 World of Outlaw starts this season, which I'm sure you're well aware of. What have been some of the problems or struggles that your team has faced?
I mean, we struggled down in Florida. That was tough, but we only got 2 shows in down there with the Outlaw Series. But the whole week was just a struggle, and then just kind of trying to find some stuff after that. And I know our results don't really show, but our swing through California is probably the best I've felt in California. Even though we don't have the results to show for it, but as far as the stuff we were doing, it was working, and me getting comfortable behind the wheel. I felt a lot better out there, and really right now that's my weak point is that swing. So I feel confident going back, there later in the year to some of those tracks and running better, and even going into those racetracks next year, I feel more confident. So it's just a work in progress, and having these rainouts that don't help. We feel like we've done better in our time trials, but that fell off on our race trim. So I mean, there for a period of time, I think it was like 5 races or something like that, we were not outside the top 10 in time trials, and so that's an improvement from last year. But then when it came race time, then that's when we kind of fell off. So we're just trying to find a balance there, and having these rainouts doesn't help that matter. So, but no, we're still working on it. I think we'll be okay. We're just trying to figure some things out and trying to find that right balance between early in the night and late in the night. So
I hear a lot about balance. I'm hearing it from more than just you. But that being said, I mean, obviously, last year I felt a breakout year. You had 3 wins with the series, and I think those 3 wins are probably worth all your wins in Central PA put together. But, how disappointing is it to go back somewhere like Florida or California and not have better results? That's got to weigh on you a little bit.
It does, and honestly, I felt like we had a pretty good year last year, and we had those wins, but they didn't really start coming until around like after King's Royal time. We ran a lot better, towards that part of the season, but I just know, going back to my notes and just remembering off of last year, it was a really, really big struggle for us, the first part of the season. And like I said, as much as my results don't show it, I don't feel like we're struggling as much at this time of the year as we were last year. So that's, to me, that says something. And, like I said, I think we'll figure it out. And even this year, I ran a car all last year, and then I wanted to run that car through California this year, and so on and so forth. So I decided to retire that right after, right before Arizona there, or right after Arizona, and that was 81 races on that car. So
wow.
We decided to bring out another car, and found that our race trim setups have been working better for us. since we did that. Even though that car was performing, it's just every time we got to, the feature, then that's when we would kind of fall off a little bit. So, and then, things we were doing last year weren't quite working as well. So, decided to make a change there. And I think it's been for the better. But, since Las Vegas, I think we've only raced 11 races, so it's been hard, just to get through all that, really. All we've been doing is trucking up and down the road and going to these racetracks and watching it rain. So it sucks.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about all the rainouts, 11 of them, and you can't really get into a rhythm. But you guys hired Jim Shuttlesworth late last year, and that seemed to help you guys out. You passed a bunch of cars late in the year. Have you guys been able to work together much? Has Jim been able to travel to the tracks at all yet this year? I mean, now that you're obviously coming back east, I would assume he'd be able to get to some more races hands-on.
Well, actually, last year we had him come out to some races, and we were working on some stuff, and worked really hard over the winter on different things. And we came down to Florida, and that's kind of where we struggled a little bit. But we were working over the phone there for a long time. Haven't had him come out to any races at all. Really, a lot of it was just because every weekend there was a threat of rain, and it was just a matter of whether or not we got lucky enough that it cleared up, or we just were lucky enough to finish before it showed up. So those were tough calls to make there to bring him out or not to bring him out. But, ultimately, there a few weeks ago, we actually decided to kind of do our own thing and part ways. So,
okay.
So now we're just kind of back to just me and my guys. And Jim has been great. And, he's taught me some things and really kind of gave me confidence in myself, and knowing that I kind of smarter than what I realized at times. So it gets hard when you're trying to do this yourself, and you kind of get down on everything. But no, he's been a great asset to this team, and it was just hard to kind of figure out all the logistics and to really make it work. So we just kind of decided to do something different there. But I'm
smarter than what you thought.
Come back east, though.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm happy to come back east.
Smarter than what you thought, Brent? Come on.
I'm telling you, like, it gets tough sometimes, and you're doing things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You get on a streak of bad runs, and you just lose confidence, but having Jim come in and really, bring that confidence back, to me, and the stuff we talked about, and the things that, we worked on over the winter, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, it's like, wow, I know all this, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, but it's just one of those deals. But, me and Jim are friends, and we still work together, over the phone here and there. But, I just, he wants to be able to do some stuff, on his own, and, I want to try to, be the best I can too. But like I said, just trying to figure out all the logistical stuff and getting into races is tough, and with all the rain and not making any money, and it's just, when you're not there's still money going out when you're not racing, but nothing coming in, and that's where it gets really hard with this. But
so Brent, you had a good run at Jacksonville. You didn't time great, but you came from like 10th to 2nd in your heat race. Mm-hmm. Well, you didn't time great because I think you had the wing collapse after hitting the cushion. But you come from 10th to 2nd in your heat race, then you win the dash, and then it rains. But you at least found speed. You could pass cars. You've got to really be looking forward to Eldora this week, because you're the last guy who's won there in a World of Outlaws race.
Yeah, I'm really confident going into Eldora this weekend. We won that race and then went back there in October, and still had a really good race car. We ended up finishing 6th, but we had a car that was running as fast as the leaders were. That whole race there. We just didn't have the track position. But no, I'm really excited to go back there. And Jacksonville was really disappointing. It's just we had a really bad start to the night, and I was able to turn it around, and set it on the pole for the feature, and just, it's just how the luck's been. Just, the rain comes, and all we needed was 6 laps in the B main, and the B main was out there, and we just weren't able to get it in. So if that was the case, we would have been able to come back another day and finish the feature. But that's part of it. That's how things fall sometimes, and we just got to keep working through it and stay positive and just go to the next race and try to have those same results.
Brent, obviously the Swings made it back to the East Coast here and going to a lot of tracks that you have very good track records at, your local tracks. Do you feel any extra pressure coming home, or is it going to be simply, hey, I'm happy to be home and confident to be here?
Yeah, it's always hard to come home because you do have extra pressure. You go out there on the outlaw tour, and you're supposed to get better. So when you come home, everybody kind of expects you to run better. But it's hard around here, and it has always been hard when I raced here, full time. And you go to Williams Grove, which is probably the hardest racetrack in the country to race on, and it just makes it difficult. You just got to get positioned in the beginning of the night to have yourself a good night. So there's extra pressure there, and and everybody comes. So you got all your local sponsors and your friends and your family, and they all come, and that's extra pressure because everybody's around. It's different when you're out there and in the Midwest, and it's just you and 2 other guys. You just kind of, it's a little bit more relaxing, and you can kind of I feel work better that way, but I enjoy coming home and racing and seeing everybody, and I'm excited for it. I just hope this forecast gets better, when we do come home. Just, it's been tough for Williams Grove this year.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Now, you and I have talked a lot over the last couple years. You're terrible in time trials. I don't think I'm overstating that. You've said that, but you race incredibly well. You pass the most cars on the circuit. I think you have the last 2 years, which, you'd think it would be harder for you to pass cars there than back here when you were running here, but you almost make it look easier. That's got to feel great, but where did you learn kind of that? Is it being back here in handicap shows that you kind of learn to kind of shake off the early part of the night and drive through these fields?
Yeah, that's helped. But it's just going back in the go-kart days and microsprint days, you're always passing cars, when you're racing in those divisions, and it's kind of the same deal back then. It's just I've never had that much luck with pill draw, so when I ran go-karts, we were always starting in the back of a heat race or something, and I had to work my way up through. And micro sprints, you're always some of the tracks we race on are so small, so yeah, you can start up front, but in a half a lap you're at the tail end of the field, so you're always just kind of like intertwining and racing against everybody, no matter if it's for position or if you're putting somebody a lap down. And when you got to the 410 division, it kind of was the same here and there. Just kind of really depend on what racetrack you got to. But, obviously racing in big cars like that, having the handicap deal and, always having to, try to work your way up through has definitely helped. But I know going out on the road and doing some traveling in 2013, when we started all that, I felt like I've gotten better as a driver, being able to maneuver around a racetrack more and seeing different surfaces. And, I was able to teach myself how to drive differently here and there, and able to utilize those teachings. It's been a pretty cool experience to have all that. But, it's just, like I said, it really just kind of, I don't know why it's so much better for me. When we do have to start in the back, it seemed like I could pass cars, but, the ultimate goal is to better our time trials and start up front and, be able to win races that way. But, as much as you said, we're bad at time trials, we've been getting pretty good here the last month. So, we're kind of, right there with those guys here and there. And Jacksonville, I just made a mistake there and crashed the car. But other than that, I think we would have had a pretty good lap there. But like I said earlier, before then, it was like the last 5 races out, we weren't no worse than I think 10th in time trials, and that makes the rest of the night a lot easier. So, but when we got the race trim, that's kind of where we were struggling a little bit. So, we kind of gave up one end of the night to better ourselves in the beginning of the night, so we're just kind of, like I said, finding that balance and seeing what we can do.
Well, don't change the race trim stuff because you race pretty well.
Get the old race notes out and use the new time trial notes. And if you got to change everything halfway through the night, it's all right. Because
right.
you pass a load of cars it seems like every night, honestly. I think some of it's because you do start in a bad position, but you do pass a load of cars, and that's phenomenal. I think that's harder than time trialing, but
some nights it is.
Yeah. I mean,
it really is.
You make the racing part look pretty darn easy.
Yeah.
So when you can start time trialing like on the front row of the heat every night, the boys are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I know. And then everybody be complaining because I'm not passing cars, and I'll be like, well, I don't have to pass cars now.
Well, exactly. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, and look, I believe the outlaw season starts now. I mean, maybe a couple weeks ago when you got back to Devil's Bowl and all that, because Florida's a bit of a weird deal. There's sandy, and then you get to California. That's a different type of racing. I believe the season starts now, kind of, and probably nobody in the pit areas, other than maybe Donnie Schatz, probably is looking forward to from here on out than you are.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. It's just the Midwest stuff and coming back east here. That's when things really start picking up. In the series, and those are races you want to perform at and win, and seem to be everybody seems to notice more that way. I don't know why, but it's just the way it works. But I wish the points would start now instead of in Florida. I think that would be great.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I know. I always seem to get far behind there trying to get through that California swing, and then after that, that's when we start gaining some ground. So it makes it tough.
Well, Brent, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it, and I'll see you this weekend out at Eldora, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com for sprint car news from around the country. One click away every day. The website features breaking news, results, features, rankings, a weekly podcast, and much more from the world of sprint car racing. The off-season, the news doesn't stop there. We also cover breaking news with silly season and also have news from the Australian Summer Series. Yearly subscription is $50, 6 months is $35, 1 month is $8. If you purchase a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. We also have giveaways for our members, the Month of Money contest, and much more. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com today. Welcome back to segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Ryan, rainouts. We talked a lot in segment 1 about them. And again, thank you to Brent Marks for coming in. He talked about rainouts.
Yeah.
It's a rainout show. Hopefully we can change that this week. I'm about ready to wear, I don't know, those ducky shoes in the podcast. Galoshes and a raincoat. So, but we want to talk about rainouts, and really a big topic this week was the rainout policies and how that works. Look, I wouldn't have raced at all this weekend. I would have pulled the plug. Port Royal and Baps Motor Speedway, I thought, were the smartest 2 tracks in the area by pulling the plug. And
I think it's a really tough call, especially in Williams Grove's defense. I mean, they've lost pretty much every race this year to rain. But honestly, I mean, I looked at the weather on Friday and I thought, I can't believe they're even going to attempt it.
Right.
But in their defense, they have guys traveling 20 hours. That came here to race, the ASCS guys. But I also am not sure that maybe they couldn't have came to an agreement with the ASCS guys before they even left home. It's just it's a sticky situation. I'm not sure what the right answer is, but the right thing is rain sucks right now.
Rain does suck right now, and I don't know what the answer is.
Stop raining.
Well, yeah, it is stop raining, but we talk a lot about the rain out policies and whatnot. What makes it? This is still a business. I know fans like to get on there. Oh, well, thank you for trying. Okay, that's 5 people. Twitter is not the real world. I know people are gonna. It's not the real world. Okay, there's real world and there's Twitter world.
No, Twitter's not even. Actually, I read it just for the funniness because none of it's very real to me.
Well, and it's just not logical because it's a business. You got to run it like a business. I mean, Selinsgrove took a major hit this week. Look, I applaud him for running, but I really don't know if that was a smart call. They had to lose money. There's no doubt about it. Lincoln had to lose money, and I just don't understand that. I know I don't want to lose money.
I think Lincoln's in a little bit different situation because they got all their qualifying in, so they got a race to run.
That's fine, but then you have.
But Selinsgrove had to basically give some of their money back to the fans.
Well, they canceled the B main.
Yep.
And then they turned around and honored rain checks for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
which I thought was very admirable.
Yes.
I thought Lincoln should have given $3 off. They didn't. No, the rain checks are void. I thought the few people that showed up, they should have gave them. They should have gave them.
I didn't see very many people there.
No, you know what though? Should have gave them $3 to $5 off this week.
And I didn't see very many at Selinsgrove either because I was actually there.
I was standing next to you, so it was, and it was bad, and that bothers me. It also bothered me that there were no URC cars there, and they were advertised. Austin Bishop was the only one.
There were no URC. There were no New York cars. They had the worst part is there was a race in New York. The ESS, I believe it was.
That was Patriots.
Patriots. I mean, they actually scheduled a race against a 5,000 to win 360 race is like
huge.
That's like 10,000 to win 410 race in my eyes.
Yes.
I mean, look, we're showing up for a 10,000 to win 410 race. Whether you got to buy tires or whatever. Some of the rumblings I heard was, we got to buy an ASCS tire. You know what? You're going to buy a tire to race tonight anyways. You're going to buy a right rear tire to race tonight.
That's true.
So just buy the tire and race and throw it away. You go to Orange County and just absolutely destroy tires there. You won't be able to bring anything home.
Right.
But you don't complain about it there. So
this goes back to 360 racing not supporting itself.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I fought for him for a long time, and you know that. I've been a big proponent of it.
Big proponent.
Man, I can barely even say anything after that attendance by zero. Really, well, Austin Bishop, sorry, but like no other URC guys showed up.
And look,
past champion. Davey Franick drove to New York.
I know it rained.
Yeah, and then they look like geniuses that it rained, but they were 20 minutes from getting a feature in, a 5,000 to win feature.
That's true.
20 minutes.
I agree with you. But the rain, I think fans have expectations. I saw some guys getting mad that some tracks didn't try. It's a business. People don't realize you have overhead, you have insurance, open the gates, you get your employees there. I mean, there's a lot of variables.
The fans get pissed because you don't try. Then when you do try,
go to a movie.
The
Avengers movie, I saw it. It was okay.
But when you do try and you get halfway through the night, now the owners and drivers and teams are pissed because they have zero pay and they got to go wash everything. They've already, they've used tires, they've put laps on their motor. I mean, like, I just think in a time like this when we have this much rain, everybody's eager to go racing, but you still got to make smart decisions.
Is it worse than last year?
Oh, absolutely.
I think Lincoln lost 6 straight last year.
Yeah. Honestly, I think, thank God I'm not racing. I probably would have smashed my head in off of a wall or something by now.
No rhythm.
No rhythm, but just, some nights you drive to the racetrack and it's raining. Some nights, like Friday night, when I left work, I work in Dillsburg now. When I left work and drove by Williams Grove, it was not raining, and they canceled. The week before...
Don't blame them.
The week before, I'm driving by the same place. It is pouring down rain, and I can't get my wipers going fast enough, and they're still planning on racing. I'm like, what gives? Like, just consistency. All I ask for is consistency.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
And take the rule where it has to rain. Either use that every time or don't use it at all. And just say, hey, when it's 90% chance of rain, we're out. We're not making people drive.
It's good. I don't, and I get accused of not liking racing or whatever. It's not. Okay. It's not that. It's I want the tracks to be here
tomorrow.
Yeah, or next year, or the year after that.
Yeah.
Think ahead, foresight. Go to a movie, spend time with your family. It's okay. We're still going to get 80 races in, or whatever it is in this area.
The 20 fans that piss and moan each week that we should have raced, they should have tried. They're not going to be enough fans to support the races.
Absolutely.
So I think you got to just kind of rule out what's said there and just make the best decision you can business wise.
Here's the other thing. Look at the stands at Lincoln. Look at the stands at Selinsgrove and what they look like.
Nobody.
Those tracks took a hit. Now Lincoln can recoup this week. Selinsgrove, I don't know what the deal is up there. Maybe they split the purse between the 24 guys or 26 guys or however they were going to do it. Probably 20. Well, Austin Bishop wasn't going to run the feature because he flipped in heat 3. Mm-hmm. And you split it between those guys, but that's a heavy loss. So, it's just something. I think that's something we're going to have to look at.
Yeah.
But that's going to wrap up segment 3, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. We'll be back in segment 4 with Justin Sanders. Stay tuned. Welcome back to segment 4, SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Joining us on the phone is Justin Sanders, who, well, I don't know, the most underrated driver in California. And we've talked about that a lot. And he had a good weekend, swept the weekend at Chico, winning the Dave Bradway. Justin, how you doing?
Oh, well, I feel terrible, but other than that, everything's going good. I don't know. I guess I had myself down, got a pretty good cold and everything like that, but it's not stopping me. We're still getting work done and still getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah, I talked to your car owner, Jovan Schriltz, and he said you were up 1:30 last night going through equipment and doing all kinds of other stuff.
Yep, and then now I'm actually, as I'm talking to you right now, I just finished cleaning the floor of my trailer and getting ready for the weekend. So we're going to do that. Then after we do this, I'm going back to work to go print some vinyl later on.
Good for you.
Attaboy.
That's what we like to hear.
You work as hard as Joey Bats.
Yeah. Him and Jeremy are going out getting, the meatballs I think they're up to $4.75 now.
Oh, for crying out loud.
You win all that money and then Joe spends it in meatballs.
Joey got, what was the funniest part of the whole thing is Joey got to the pictures almost faster than I was able to get out of the race car. We can't find him all week, and he's out wandering around. And then, as soon as that race was over, when he was ready to take a picture, he was there before I even got out of the car. So that was pretty funny.
I don't know how he does it. Speaking of this weekend, I say this was a big weekend because all eyes were on California a little bit because of all the rain. Was this kind of the biggest weekend in your sprint car career, do you think?
I'd have to say in wins, probably, yeah. Still our second to St. Stewart, the Outlaw race was still probably one of the bigger ones. But I'd say, yeah, this is pretty close, because the Bradway, and there was all the top sprint car teams in California were there. You had, Roth and Williams, and everybody was there. And no, it was an awesome weekend. Things just we were really quick the whole time, but things kind of just went our way, and that's how it goes sometimes. But we're really happy with our race car all weekend. We kind of found some things and made some changes and had a really good car all weekend.
In the last 20 races with Joe, you're averaging, I don't know, what, $2,800, $3,000 a race, which is pretty high, but you don't race much. How do you pick your schedule?
Well, that's funny. Before I lead into that, I was going to say, I probably didn't drive off the end of the racetrack in the outlaw race. My average money would probably be up even higher.
It would be, and mine would be too, because I had you in that race, and that cost me in the Lonnie Wheatley pool.
Everybody likes to say the woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff, but I think if we could have had our same package that we had this weekend, especially Friday night, even though we won the Broadway Saturday night, I felt really, really good Friday night, and I think we could have had a good shot to win that outlaw race if we would have had our package. The kind of the same situation that we had Friday night, I think we would have been tough to beat for sure, and we're definitely going to build on that. But so I got to wait. The question was how we determine our schedule.
Yeah, how do you guys? I mean, you never know when you're showing up.
Well, I mean, with Joe, when he gets his accounts receivable up and he doesn't get money in, we got to get them screen people that he works for. We got to get the money in so we can go race. No, I mean, we got to be careful with our, we only have one engine at the moment, so we kind of have to pick and choose the races that we know we want to run. The Placerville race and the Chico races, and we have our Select King of the West races. So, I mean, it's kind of just, it's mainly because we only have one engine, so we kind of have to really, pick and choose the Bradway's a race we always know we want to go to, and the Howard Kading Classic and the Placerville races. And, the stuff that's not the races that aren't super hard on the engine, like Calistoga and Stockton and stuff like that. It's more we're just kind of watching ourselves money wise with the engine and so on and so forth. All that.
Justin, congratulations on a great weekend.
Thanks, Ryan. Did you like that? How I texted you back at 4:45 after you texted me?
Yeah, I was like, man, what is this guy doing awake yet?
I just got home.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a 4-hour drive from where we were at, and by the time the races were done and we were loaded up, it was close to 12 o'clock. So
yeah, by
the time we got out of there and stopped and got gas and everything, it was about 4:45 by the time I crawled in bed.
I was just hoping I didn't wake you up.
No. I was still awake.
Go, sorry. What's the magic between you and Lee Lindgren? You guys have only run like 3 or 4 races together and won all 3 or 4 races together. I mean, what's the deal? Like, it's like almost magic.
Well, what's kind of nice with Lee is he's really good at reading a racetrack. He can walk out there and he can read the racetrack very well, and he knows how to come in and give the necessary, do the necessary changes. But another big thing is, like I was talking to Joe last week, I ran second to Bud Kading the last 2 nights at Watsonville. Just kind of the thing where I was talking to Joe, and he's got Brian Matherly and his dad and Matt Britt from Kading's. They're all kind of giving him some signals. And lately, since Tim Green has moved to Idaho, it's been hard for me because I'm trying to, kind of gauge on what to do on the restarts. I don't know if there's a better line coming that I'm not seeing or something like that. And what's kind of nice with Lee is he's kind of been there to give me some tips and some pointers and, hey, try this in hot laps, or, the track's changing here and for qualifying and just little things like that, which, it sounds really minute, but it makes a huge difference in the long run. It's kind of like, you, Ryan, when you're working with Greg before and you were giving him, say, hey, maybe try this or maybe we should do this. It just kind of gives you another avenue to go to type of thing.
Yep.
And that's been huge for me, especially. And I mean, not only did he not have the car really comfortable, and I think kind of the way he does his setup, it kind of just suits my driving style. It just kind of works. It works together in one.
You cut out there, Justin.
Oh, sorry. What part did you miss?
right after you said about his setup.
I said his setup just kind of suits my driving style, and it kind of just works together, kind of all in one. And when I ran Placerville with him, and I got in the 3C car, it just felt really comfortable. I mean, it steered really well, and it just really suited my driving style. And he kind of had me change some stuff on my car and kind of do some stuff that he does, and it just felt really good right off the bat. And it, we've been struggling having drive in the race car, and a couple of things he had me do, it really woke that thing up, and we got drive again. So I mean, it's really nice to have.
Justin, you've won the most races in California over the last 5 years. Why are you in the banana overlooked so much? What's going on with that? I talk to Joe all the time about that, and you guys just don't get the love. What's going on? Did you make somebody mad? Did you piss somebody off?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I just I kind of just stick to myself. I kind of do my own thing. So I don't know if that's part of it. It was kind of funny after the races. I was watching on Friday night. Majority of the teams were getting in their cars or getting in their rental cars and going to the bar and doing all that stuff. And me and my team are going out to the car wash to get prepped for the next night because we want to win. So, I don't know if it's just not being in the social part of it and wanting to win. But, I'll take the working on the car and getting my car fast and making sure we're all prepared to win the next night over, the social part of it any day. So I think that could be a part of it. And other than that, if that's not it, I can't really tell you why. So I don't know.
I like money. That's what I would care about. So, but that being said, you're a little operation. Joe is the most. I'll tell you what. Joe Von Schultz is the most entertaining, unique person I've ever met in racing, and I've met a lot. This is a little operation. He's a one-man guy in a shop, and you help out. And Joe doesn't even go to the track.
Yeah.
No, not half the time.
Yet you're running. How do you guys compete with the Ross and the Matt Woods and the Tarletons? How are you able to kind of have this success?
Well, I'd have to say one thing about Joe, which he kind of turned me on to, was just being conscious about every little part we put on the race car. We make sure we have the best. Our car might not look like it's a very nice car, so that it doesn't have all kinds of graphics and it doesn't have our wings painted, and half the times our frames aren't painted. But there's a trick to that. It's not just for because we don't care about the way it looks. There's reasoning for it. We want our cars light. We want our stuff fast, and Joe takes his time. If he feels something needs to be lightened up or something needs to be changed, he changes it. He'll take it off. He'll have me, do this, or he'll mill a part, and, we'll do something. Or we're always looking to get the next edge. And I think we talk together, and we kind of think alike on a lot of stuff. So it kind of just meshes really well on his ideas and my ideas. And he never, one thing about Joe is, if I make a mistake or if I want to do something completely oddball with the car, he'll tell me, he doesn't say anything, let me do whatever I want. And they kind of, it's just kind of a confidence thing that he trusts me, and he lets me kind of do whatever he wants or whatever I want. So, I think that's a good part of it. We just have a really solid relationship, and it just kind of meshes. It's just a good combination.
He's honest though. Like if you screw up, he'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the time, if I'm screwing up, I'm telling him before he's even giving me the opportunity to tell me.
Yeah, so. There you go. That's a good policy.
What's it like running for Joe? He sleeps on the. Does it? He sleeps in his. He has a home, but he rents it out, and he sleeps at his office. I think he's worked every day for like 25, 30 years, whatever it is. He's 60 years old. He's different. He doesn't even go to the movies.
Well, some people can say that's strange, but that's just what he's comfortable with, and that's just the lifestyle he wanted to live. He knew he wanted to make money, and he didn't want to go out and blow it or have a big house when he lives by himself. I'd probably be the same way. I'd probably be renting it out and trying to make the extra money, and that's how we get some of the extra money to go racing or to pay the bills or to do all that stuff. So. Yeah, it's something to say it's different, but in a way I could kind of see it. Honestly, I would rather have a big shop and have a little apartment inside of it and live in that. I'm sure Ryan can kind of judge to that if he was single and still racing, and he could have the car in his shop and have a little apartment and live with the car. I bet he would do it also.
There's a good chance, yeah.
Well,
if you were younger, single, and didn't have any kids or anything like that.
I think Joe's like a workaholic to do what he loves. Like he works so much to do what he loves.
I think that's absolutely true. I think he does it so he can race.
So he can.
So did he tell you, I'm sure you've heard the story, did he tell you the story about when he saved for 6 years to buy his first race car?
Yep, I've heard it all.
He's a very unique guy, but he is absolutely. I think you guys fit well together because I think you're both very hardworking and you don't care what other people think, and you do your own deal, and it's obviously successful.
He said that if you, and correct me, if you win an outlaw show, you will not get up on the wing.
It's kind of not my thing, anyways. He says that, but I know he might get mad. But I think if I won the outlaw show, he really wouldn't care what I did besides blow his engine up. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of not my thing, anyways. It's of course I'd be excited, but like Joe said, it's kind of overplayed. Everybody gets on the wing. It's just a over and over type of thing. It's kind of like the music in between the in between each race. It's just kind of an overplayed thing. So we want to try to think of maybe do something different.
I like it. I like that you don't want to do it. Plus, by the way, don't change the car. I like the hologram wing. I like the simplicity. And it's the banana, now the Wicked banana, because you have Wicked cushion on it. Now, you've gotten a little help recently. I understand you might get some of the Tri-C equipment. Is that a possibility with Lee and maybe some sponsorship help there, which I never – you don't get a lot of sponsorship, but is that a possibility, and how much will that help?
Well, the Tri-C equipment was purchased by one of my sponsors, and he's kind of got everything, and we're still sorting through parts and kind of making decisions on what's going to happen. And as far as having Lee and Clyde, I mean, Clyde's pretty much out of the sprint car sport. I think he's just done. He's paid his time and done his time and paid his dues, and he's just kind of ready to get out. So, I don't know what Lee's plan is. We've kind of talked about hitting some other races together when we run the 121 again, and maybe if he can get down on Friday to help me on the 17 car, he might. But we don't really have any plans. I mean, I'm trying to get him locked in for the Gold Cup and a couple other races, possible 410 races, and hopefully the possible outlaw show, so we can get a chance to work together again. And but other than that, things kind of up in the air. I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and we're just kind of seeing what's going on. There is a lot more access to some 410 engines now. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Me and one of the sponsor, we haven't really talked. He's been busy at work, and we haven't had a chance to kind of sit down and make a plan yet. But as soon as I find out the plan, I'll be sure to let you guys know, so you guys can so we can plan for the future.
Well, and this is the biggest question: where are you and the banana going to race next?
Oh,
I understand you're not going to be at the Peter Murphy.
I don't think so. The 4SA car's talking about going to Peter Murphy, so we'll see there. He's been talking about that back and forth. He said we'll see how our weekend goes and how everything else is and how his work schedule is, because he's basically a working guy that kind of just works on the car at night, kind of same as us. And he said if his working schedule isn't too crazy and he can get it done, we might go to the Murphy and race the 360. So I don't know. I can't really tell you where we're going to race next. I'd have to kind of look and see, I think Joe might want to run this race, and I'll talk to him, and he'll probably say yes or no.
This is the best. You never know when the banana's showing up in the pit area.
That's the way I feel when I make my picks too, Justin, because Jeremy keeps it to himself.
Justin. Ryan's not happy because he didn't know about the banana going to Chico, which I call that his problem. That's not my problem.
He needs to give Joe a call more and talk to him.
I'm just going to call Joey. He'll keep me in the loop.
Oh, well, you do that.
You'll get probably 99% of false information and 0.01% information will be true.
All right. Then you know what? I'll just have to wait until Elliott picks his picks and I get what's left.
Yeah, or you just give Joe a call. He loves talking to you.
I could do that.
Yeah, that's on you, Ryan.
I certainly won't be able to text him.
No,
you will not be able to text him. You can throw an email back and forth. I even told Joe he needs to get a cell phone, even a prepaid cell phone, just in case he breaks down on the side of the road or something like that, so he can make a call.
He doesn't have
or even have a cell phone and never just don't even give anybody a number, just to do whatever he wants with it. But
I don't get it. But
I don't think he'll ever have a cell phone. I think it's been too long.
Well, you're not changing. He's 61. No. He's not changing at this point.
Yeah, it's over.
I don't think so.
And I wouldn't want him to because, again, most unique guy I've ever met in sprint car racing. Certainly. But he's a good guy, and I think he has a unique way of looking at the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's a definite fact. But, I'd have to say for the most part he's he'll say something and it might sound a little different, but then you go sit back and you kind of think about it, analyze it, and you go, maybe he is right. And, most of the time he's pretty right on what he says. So if he gives me a suggestion or an observation, I usually pay pretty close attention to it.
Absolutely.
Well, Justin, I know.
And one thing I got to mention this. One thing Joe, he does not want me to do is when I win, he does not want me to mention his name.
Oh yeah. He doesn't let you mention his name in Victory Lane.
No, he does not want me to mention his name.
He's like an anomaly. Nobody knows about him. I mean, I don't care. I'm trying to write a story about him, but he won't. Him and I talked this weekend about it, and he's like, I don't want anybody to know. And I'm like,
everybody already knows who he is anyways.
Yeah,
but everybody in California knows who he is. But I mean, I guess, I'm sure people in the West or in the Midwest have to know his name because you bring him up on the show every week. So they know something about him. I'm sure somebody's Googled something or called somebody trying to figure something out.
People don't realize he used to race.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But to me, he's the guy in the Hawaii sweatshirt. He always has that green Hawaii sweatshirt.
The Hawaii sweatshirt.
Yep. It's really weird. Yeah. Justin, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. I know your voice is rough today, and you're working. So again, congratulations on your weekend, and we look forward to seeing the banana out again whenever you guys decide to roll it out.
Well, I was kind of thinking too. It's kind of nice to actually be able to be interviewed for once. I haven't won a race this year. It's about time I win a race. God, I was getting frustrated.
Come on! You've only run a handful.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to win every time out there, and I get frustrated when I win or don't win. So it's kind of nice to actually be able to talk to you guys, because at least if I get to talk to you on the show, at least I'm doing something right.
That's true.
So, to get to talk to two famous people like yourself.
Yeah.
Here we go. Not famous, infamous maybe. Again, Justin, thank you very much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Ryan appreciates it. And congratulations and good luck the rest of the year.
No, thank you both. I'm sure I'll be talking to you guys pretty soon.
Yep. Take care.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com for sprint car news from around the country. One click away every day. The website features breaking news, results, features, rankings, a weekly podcast, and much more from the world of sprint car racing. The off-season, the news doesn't stop there. We also cover breaking news with silly season and also have news from the Australian Summer Series. Yearly subscription is $50, 6 months is $35, 1 month is $8. If you purchase a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. We also have giveaways for our members, the Month of Money contest, and much more. Check out SprintCarUnlimited.com today. Welcome to an entertaining fifth segment of SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast. Presented by Wicked Energy Gum. We had some technical difficulties, switch cameras out. I forgot the cord. Ryan, I'm a mess. I broke my glasses on Sunday. I had to get those mended.
They're going to get broke again shortly.
It's been, we barely got Justin Sanders done. Good stuff by him. He's in the wind a little bit in California. It must be windy out there all the time.
I think the one thing I took out of that is he wasn't stopping working to do a show.
And that's the thing with him.
Blue collar, man.
He very blue
Joe.
collar. Oh,
that's why they're kind of meant for each other, I think. It's just like they're the same kind of people. Yeah.
And I think they're the little guy. They truly are the little guy taking on the bigger teams in the sport. And, Joe and I, by the way, don't always agree. We should get that out there. I mean, him and I go back and forth on some stuff, but he's interesting. He's kind of, I view him like a Colin Cowherd. If anybody knows on FS1, I don't agree with everything, but I can at least go, okay, I understand why you think that.
He always has a reason behind everything he thinks.
Correct.
He's an extremely in-depth thinker. How's that? Because he thinks about everything.
I think he's a New England Patriots type of, if you were going to put the NFL to sprint car racing, I think that's how that team is.
Yeah,
Justin's like that too.
Yeah.
Justin spends a lot of time, he has a graphics business, and he's definitely, and he runs like the 4SA. He runs his own car. He runs Joe's car. I don't know how you do that.
It's hard work.
That's true. Very true. But now that we got cameras switched out, I will not forget the cord next week. I promise, Bill. Sorry about that. So if the picture looks hokey, it's not you. It was me.
Not even commenting.
Plus, it's hot in here.
Yep.
And you're flushed.
I'm flushed.
I thought it's because you're nervous about what's coming up next.
What?
Which segment 5 is our picks. You're probably
no nerves here
because we're now tied up in wins.
You always bring something good out of what I mean. I pulled away in spots. I'm still winning in top 10.
By a few.
I tied you up in top 5s. You picked up one thing this week, and you make it sound like you won the Super Bowl. Come on. Jeez.
Hey, I'm just happy to be tied in 2. The rain's killed me.
Oh. Oh, man.
That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, geez.
So we're going to jump in. I mean, I think, again, I've said earlier, I said to Brent Marks, I think the World of Outlaws season begins this weekend. Obviously, because of the rainouts throughout the Midwest, but we got good weather, it looks like, at Eldora. I think this is the weekend where things start to shake out, so to speak. I think Brent will be better. I think that's a storyline definitely to follow. But Eldora Speedway, Friday, Saturday night, let's race 2. They're on board with USAC. They bill it the best of both worlds. We're going to pick all 4 of them.
All 4.
So USAC and World of Outlaws, but some of the storylines to follow this weekend. Donnie Schatz hasn't won since February 28th at Vegas. That's amazing. But he's won 3 straight Kings Royals, and he swept this event a year ago.
So it's safe to say he's probably going to go off the Schneid?
No, I just think he's going to be in the mix. I don't
He's
know.
been in the mix.
He has not contended for wins. That's what I think.
Yeah,
he's only led 14 races.
He's only led 14 laps.
14 laps in this series. So no, I'm not going to say that.
Okay. So you're not picking him.
I didn't
like
say
to
that.
Me, Bill.
I see. I got to watch my words.
Like he's not picking him.
Brad Sweet, really good there. Could make the argument.
Brad Sweet's really good anywhere right now.
No, but I mean, at Eldora, he's won the Kings Royal in the past. Last year, Kings Royal, he was coming. I think one more lap might have been standing in victory lane. Obviously, won the Knoxville Nationals. That would have been 2 big wins. Brad's going to be one to watch. Brent Marks, we already said, won there last year. I think he's really gotten a hold of that place. Mm-hmm. The other thing is there's going to be some invaders.
Oh, yeah.
Kerry Madsen. Sammy Swindell is going to bring the Thone car there for the first time. That should be interesting. Christopher Bell will be running this event in the Swindell Speed Lab car. That car's fast, and Christopher Bell gets around there at a good clip.
Yeah. He's very good there. He's
on the fence, too.
He's won in Tony's cars a couple times.
Yeah, he's on the fence. Logan Schuchart runs well there on the bottom. There's a bottom groove now. Craig Kinzer had 3 top 10s and 2 top 5s there last year.
Greg Wilson?
Craig Kinzer.
No, but I'm saying Greg Wilson also on the bottom.
Yeah, I think this field is wide open.
Absolutely.
You know, depending how dry slick it gets. Let's not forget Buddy Kofoid's going to show up. It'll be interesting to see how he performs. So I know our producer over there, Tim Kading, I'm hearing will be in the backup sides car.
I did see that.
See, I told you now.
I did see
you can't complain I didn't tell you.
Yep.
He has a shot there.
Does.
He's run there in the past. So I think there's a lot of good things or a lot of storylines to follow, so to speak, this weekend. So now we're going to make picks. So do you pick first or do I pick first? Because we're tied and I'm behind in spots.
You had the one win this week.
Okay.
You actually picked the winner, so I think it would be, unfortunately, my turn to go first, I guess.
I guess, but go ahead. Friday night at Eldora. World of Outlaws. I know where this is going already.
Brad Sweet.
Really? Look at you. Look at you.
Then you can pick Donnie twice.
I'm taking Donnie shots.
Look at that. Look at that.
I'm taking Donnie shots on Friday night.
Mm-hmm. You're going to take him on Saturday, too.
On Saturday, see, I almost don't want to because that's chalk. I mean, that's like going chalk. You know, it's like taking a horse that's 3-2. I mean, look, he's disgusted. He's almost disgusted that I might take him.
You're going to take him.
But then Christopher Bell is a guy who's been really good there. Logan's been good there. It's tough. You know what? I am going to take Christopher Bell. I'm going to take Christopher Bell to take the win on Saturday.
I'll take Donnie. Thank you very much.
He baited me into it. You stopped taking Darren Pittman. I'm surprised. We actually have a shirt over on the our producer can give to us a shirt from Matthew Henninger of Darren Pittman just for you.
Nice. I lived and died by him for a while earlier.
Yeah, that's how you.
He's been very
that's
good
how
to
you
me.
throw it in here, Bill. Here it is.
Look at that.
Just for Ryan, who
Look
seems
at
to
that.
take him all the time.
He was good to me.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll take him. Next
I'll take him again.
You'll take him again. USAC. This is where I get you.
Yep.
Because you admit that.
I do.
So, haven't raced since April 12th. You talk about a season starting again.
Honestly, I don't even remember the last time. Well, they ran Sunday night. They ran at Kokomo Sunday, the wingless cars, but I couldn't tell you the last time they ran prior to that. I'm like,
No,
holy
it
cow.
was something. Kevin Thomas actually leads CJ Leary into points by 3.
I didn't even know they started their points.
Yeah, they
Seems like-
they did. Justin Grant has 1 win in 4 races this season, but I think that's the guy to watch. I've been saying that since last year. Finished strong last year. He's lurking back and forth, 42 points back, and I think he makes up ground this week. So there's a lot of. I mean, this is a good weekend, and the best part is they usually get done about 10:30 with these programs.
Yeah, they push them through at Eldora. There's no. Usually they don't have to work on the track a whole lot, and they just run it right through. They start early there, though, man. I'm telling you, there'll be times when you're running time trials in the sunlight.
Well, it's wide open. You talk about a wide open field.
Yeah.
I think all 4 of these events at the Big E this weekend are wide open.
Yeah, no one has any kind of chemistry or any kind of.
I just think USAC's so wide open.
Oh,
I think their driver lineup's better than it ever was.
I think there's a lot of guys with good equipment, and it's very even across the board.
I would agree. Who do you got?
Gonna take Chris Wyndham
On Friday.
on Friday. I watched the highlights at Kokomo, and he was awesome. Like, he was really good there. He's good at Eldora
wasn't
too.
a USAC race, though.
No, it wasn't. But they were all there. So I think Brady Bacon's the only one that wasn't there.
I want to take Justin Grant because I just think he's going to be better this year. But Courtney hasn't won yet.
Mm-mm.
It's tough. And if I take KTJ, you'll be all over me.
No, because honestly, this is
a crapshoot.
This is my downfall right here.
No, it's Robert Ballou.
He's good at Eldora.
Good at Eldora.
Plus, he has to do the track prep.
Yeah, he has to do track prep,
Yeah, he
too,
has
so
to-
we don't know.
Yeah, he can't race there unless he does track prep.
Yeah. The thing is, they just haven't raced.
No.
And that's what I just don't know what to do. I'm going to take KTJ because I know he's going to be good.
He'll be right there. He's there every night.
Saturday night. I'm going to go Justin Grant.
Justin.
I'm going to go Justin Grant on Saturday.
Then I'm going to have to go Tyler Courtney.
That's a good pick. He's due. He's due to win.
He's good there.
Absolutely.
Him and Wyndham are both pretty good at Eldora, so I feel pretty confident.
You know, Central.
USAC's going to get me back.
It's going to get you increase your lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It owes me a lot from Florida.
Stop
a
it with
lot.
the O. You didn't owe you. I mean, there's a couple that I had guys fall out. You know, I mean, come on. It's an owing. There's no owing. It's amazing, though. 45 races we picked.
There is going to be some owing. You owing me dinner. So
It's
keep
been
that in
45 races, and
Yeah.
we're only 16 spots different.
And the other 3 things that are charted were either tied or one apart.
Yeah, so
It is almost
it is.
crazy.
It's and no, we don't script it. Central PA is. We hope we get racing in at Williams Grove. Looking, I mean, it's just the weather forecast isn't good. It's the World of Outlaw tune-up. I think the best thing, or I think the biggest storyline for the Grove is these guys just haven't had track time there.
Yeah.
And you know as well as anybody. I mean, you could speak to this. Tracks aren't the same year to year.
No, everybody majority of everybody puts dirt on their tracks every year. And honestly, I know talking to a couple friends that race here at BAPS that they feel like the surface is definitely different. I've seen, Selinsgrove definitely got new dirt, and it's definitely different. So I think it's something that the locals are used to running and pounding one track for a while, and they haven't been able to pound Williams Grove at all. So
no,
it's kind of a crapshoot.
Well, it's the World of Outlaw tune-up. Lance Deweese probably be in the field.
You would think so.
I figure I need to tell you because you've been belly aching about me not telling you. So, but yeah, they need to get a race in, and I don't know. It'd be bad to lose.
Lance is going to be in the field. I got Lance. I got pick. It's my pick.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And I got Lance.
Damn it. Guess I didn't move that one around.
No, you should have planned accordingly.
Right.
See, it's all different. It's all different now that you didn't know when you were going to pick. See? We're going to bring a bingo wheel in, and that's how we're going to figure out who picks first.
You know, I like that idea, actually.
I don't. I hate bingo wheels. When we had a draw, I threatened
Brian.
Yeah, I threatened Brian to smash his bingo wheel on the ground with my foot.
Well, I'm going to take Danny Dietrich.
You know, two pretty solid picks there.
Yeah, it's Danny against, Deweese. So
pretty much.
Lincoln Speedway on Saturday, pair of 410 main events. I don't like running the makeup feature last.
In the rubber?
It's not that. You're qualified. And what if you smash your stuff up in the first 410 race? You're done for a race you're qualified for.
Yeah, it's really a crapshoot because you could run time trials and then run the feature, and if you crash in the feature, you already got time trials in for your night. So it's a crapshoot, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what's right.
I don't like it. You always run those first.
The problem with running a feature right away is the track's very narrow and it's very, very hard to pass.
Well, you just said it's going to be rubbered up, so
when you run last, yeah.
So what's it matter?
It probably doesn't.
It's
hard to run that many laps in one night and really not have it rubber up. Especially they're going to do an outlaw format. There's going to be time trials.
Yes.
There's going to be a dash. There's going to be the heat races. There's going to be a feature. There's probably a support division.
Right.
2.
There's 358 sprints and midgets on the program.
So there's 3. Oh my God. The good thing is they'll be running the sprint car feature on Sunday.
I just don't.
It's a 2-day show at Lincoln this week.
How about this? How about you run? Can you do this? Time trials, all your hot lap sessions, and then run the makeup 410 feature. Can you do that?
You can do anything you want.
Well, I understand that, but it'll widen it out a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly would.
I like that idea. I just think running it last isn't a good choice, but I guess I don't run the racetracks. So.
No, you could have bought right in there to that group. You know it.
Yeah, I'll just pull that out of my pocket.
You could have.
Trust me, that group is way. I mean, they know more than I do, and they definitely have more money than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. I live in an apartment. I live in that same apartment that Joe is working out in California. So we're gonna pick the makeup feature because we know who's there.
The makeup feature.
We do not know the lineup.
The one that's running last
in
the rubber.
Yes.
Oh, geez. Do you have the starting lineup for me?
No. You know who was there. In fact, we'll pick both of them if you'd like.
Man, first Lincoln. It says first Lincoln feature, which to me, if the makeup's last, the first Lincoln feature.
Well,
is
when I made the plan,
the regular show.
No, I thought that they would run that
first. Oh,
I mean, if you want, we can. No, you know what? In defense, you're right.
Who is not going to be there that you think is going to be there? Come on, seriously.
I think they'll all be there.
Yeah,
I think they'll.
I think so too.
They're going to get laps for the following Wednesday.
All right.
Let's pick the first. Your call.
It's your pick.
Do you want to pick both of them?
Hey, it's your pick.
We'll pick both of them. That way we can do it.
I can widen my lead.
That's all right. You do that. Now we're getting
starting lineup. Yeah.
Starting lineup. Bring it over, Bill.
Bring that over.
You can get in camera. We can see in your ugly shorts.
And someone puked on your shirt.
Yeah, it's. Oh my word.
Was that Antonio Brown?
Yeah, right. Wow. I picked first.
Yeah. Let me see. Go ahead.
I don't know. Let me see that. I'm going to take. Wow. Give me Freddie.
Okay. I'll take Kendall.
That's because Bill's over there telling you Robbie Kendall.
It's going to be rubber down. Come on.
No, it's not. It won't be rubber down. Guaranteed it will not be rubber down.
All right.
Second feature.
Which is actually the normal show.
The normal show. Who do you got?
Oh, Dietrich.
I'm going to take. Ooh. I'm going to take Brian Monteith.
Get off the schneid.
Because he's practicing at Babs tomorrow.
Okay.
And I know he is.
That's good.
A little inside information.
That's good. I'm glad them. I mean, honestly, when we were struggling, it was one of the best things we could do is either go test or go to practice night.
Well,
it helps a lot.
That's what's happening. So we're good to go. Got to make sure we get the ones right on our picks. So Port Royal Speedway has a regular show. Trailway, regular show. Sealands Grove, pretty much a regular show. Knoxville's also running this week. IRA Sprint's coming into town. It's a nice little.
I got Brian Brown.
I don't know if he'll go to Eldora.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, we're not picking Knoxville because we don't know. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
So we don't want to say, oh, we'll take this guy out of the field because we'll be doing that for DeWeese every week around here. So
hey, whoa. I got the last text message from you. So-and-so, well, who was it? So-and-so's not going to be there. Can I change my pick?
I did. I was the last one. I was
and I said, absolutely. Go ahead.
Well, you had to at that rate. I mean,
I would. I don't make a big deal out of it.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do when you have a lead.
I would do that if I didn't have the lead.
IRA Sprints is an interesting group to me. I think it's a good group out in the Midwest, run a lot of Wisconsin, whatnot, rolling into Knoxville. Bill Baylog has to be one of the favorites.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But that's going to wrap up this edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com podcast presented by Wicked Energy Gum and Wicked Cushion. Stay tuned to SprintCarUnlimited.com for all your race needs all week. I'll be at Eldora Speedway, so we'll have a complete coverage from the Big E, and we'll be back next week. Stay tuned.